Hi everybody, welcome back to Cooking Caribbean with Christian. Today's recipe is going to be empanadas. It's a crowd favorite. They're super simple to make. It is a fried dough patty with meat inside, and you can make empanadas with pretty much anything. The most classic way to make empanadas is with ground meat. So you use ground chicken or ground beef or ground turkey. But people make empanadas with any type of filling. People make mac and cheese filled empanadas, pizza empanadas, spinach empanadas. So you can really take creative license to make empanadas with whatever you want. Today in this recipe, we're making empanadas with ground chicken. It's super simple and super delicious, and it's a crowd pleaser. So here is the recipe for empanadas. So first things first, you need the dough for the empanadas. There are a lot of different brands for the dough. It doesn't really matter which one you get, as long as it says that it's dough for empanadas. These are just the regular size ones. They come with wax paper in between, so you can just peel off the wax paper and then go at it. So you're gonna need a pack of these empanada discs. Today, the meat that I'm gonna be using with my empanadas is ground chicken, so you'll need 1 packet of ground chicken. For the other ingredients, you're gonna use a ½ cup of red bell peppers, a ½ cup of onions. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of garlic, 1 tablespoon each of sazon and adobo. Hey, sorry to interrupt real quick. You do not need a whole tablespoon of both sazon and adobo. All you need is 1 teaspoon of sazon and just sprinkle the adobo on top. Otherwise, it'll be way too salty. Okay, resume. Again, with sazon and adobo, it doesn't really matter which brand you get. They're all basically the same. 1/3 cup of Spanish olives, chopped. 1/3 cup of tomato sauce, and 3 tablespoons of our sofrito. And these are all of the ingredients that you'll need to make empanadas, so let's get started. The first step that you're gonna do when making your empanadas is you're gonna make the ground chicken. So first things first, you're gonna add about 2 tablespoons or so of oil to the pan. You don't wanna put too much, just enough to coat the pan for the ground chicken. We're gonna bring our heat to a low heat. And then we are going to toss our ground chicken right in there. Immediately, as soon as you put the ground chicken into the pan, put your seasonings of adobo and sazon right in there. Because since it's raw, you want it to like soak up into the meat when it's raw. And then we're gonna take our spatula and we're gonna start separating them immediately. Because otherwise, if you let it sit there for too long, without the seasoning and without chopping it up immediately, it's gonna kind of clump together. You know, this is white chicken meat, so it's gonna clump together and get solid pretty quickly. There's not too much fat in there. So I'm gonna bring my heat up a little bit to like a medium and just keep going at the ground chicken, keep chopping it up. Once we have our ground chicken to a really nice consistency, and we've got it down to like its little ground up bits, we're gonna come back and add the rest of the ingredients in. Okay everyone, so we're coming back to our chicken now. It's solidified a lot more. We're getting that ground up consistency. That's exactly what we want. Once we start getting it to this texture, this is when we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. So in goes the sofrito. In goes our tomato sauce, olives, garlic, and last but not least, the onions and peppers. And now we can stir that around. Make sure it's all evenly distributed in there. It's gonna look really, really pretty and smell super, super good. It smells fantastic already just from the sofrito and from the sazon. You know, those are the base seasonings for all Puerto Rican cooking, sofrito and sazon. And there you go. So once you've mixed that all together, you're gonna leave it simmering in our skillet. All right, we're gonna leave it in there. We're gonna leave it on a medium heat for about 20 minutes. Keep stirring it and keep checking up on it occasionally. Then we're gonna come back to it, check up on it, see how it's doing. All right guys, so it has been 20 minutes. We're gonna check up on our ground chicken. Yes, yes, yes. It smells delicious. All right, this is exactly what we want. Most of the juices have evaporated out. It's become thicker. Okay, great. We're gonna turn off our heat there. We're gonna put our ground chicken into a bowl on the side. All right, we're gonna keep it all in there. And then before you put your ground meat into the empanada dough, you need it to cool first, otherwise it'll melt the dough. So we're gonna let this cool for about 15 to 20 minutes, check up on it, see how much time you need, you know, do a finger test, check how hot it is. Once it's cool enough for you to transfer it into the dough without the dough melting, then we will continue. All right, now that we've let our chicken sit and cool off, now it is the perfect temperature to put it into our empanada discs. Okay, so like I said before, this is gonna have wax paper in between the discs. So just take one of the wax papers off. The dough will come off. Keep it on the wax paper because it's like easier to lift off and stuff. So you're gonna have it out like this. Take a spoonful of your meat, put it in the center of the empanada, right? Depending on how much meat you want, you know, you can stuff it as much as you want. Then you're going to fold the empanada over like this so that the edges are closing on each other. Press it closed like that. And then with a fork, you're going to press the ends of the fork onto the edges to create this nice shell design. So do that all around the ends. And then this is it. This is how you put it into the frying pan. So this is what they look like right before they're fried. This made 10 empanadas and I still have some leftover ground chicken meat. So if you want to make some more, you might have to buy 2 packs of empanada dough so you can finish all the meat. So now that this is all finished, now we're gonna move to our frying pan and we're gonna start frying them. So I have coated the bottom of the frying pan with oil. Once you got your oil nice and hot, I'm gonna take my tongs and put the empanada in the middle of the tongs and then place it into the oil. And then you'll see the edges start to bubble up immediately. I would put the curved side of the empanada towards the outside of the pan. And then just kind of place them in. Let them do its thing. You're gonna let them sit in the oil for a few minutes or until it starts getting to a golden brown color, and then we're gonna turn them over. Okay, and we can fit one more in the middle. All right. Okay, so the empanadas have been frying for about 5 minutes. We're gonna flip this one over and you can see it's kind of getting that golden brown color. So that one in the middle is definitely done. The one that you put in the middle is going to be done the fastest because the flame is directly under it. So then you gotta just go in there and check the other ones and see how it's doing. This one is looking done too. They're probably all done. Flip this one over. You know, sometimes it helps me to take one end with a fork, like a fork in one hand and the tongs in another hand, just to pry it. That one looks good. Okay, so I think they're all done on the bottom. So that's the way you want them to look. They look great, crispy, perfect. So you're gonna leave them there for another few minutes or until golden brown. For this, I'm using corn oil for the frying, but you can use whatever oil you like best. But yeah, we're gonna leave it there for a few more minutes and then we're gonna take them out, try them. Alright, so now that the empanadas are all done, we're gonna shut off our heat. We're gonna take them out, put them here on our dish with our paper towels to soak up the oil. See how they're nice and golden brown, nice and crispy. It's exactly how you want them to look. Alright everyone, we've completed our recipe and this is the final product. And it's a really simple recipe. It's one of my favorite recipes to do. Try it at home, let me know what you think. Let me know how it turns out. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe below. I'll place the recipe in the description as well. Try it out, let me know how it turns out. Enjoy.